Pastor Chooks, along with his wife, Pastor Toyin, are the lead pastors of Resurrection Life Church in Johannesburg, South Africa. Through them, God is raising an army of ordinary men and women who are transforming and uplifting the standard of life in their communities through understanding and applying biblical principles. Pastor Chooks and Pastor Toyin frequently host workshops, seminars, and conferences for transformation and uplifting of the complete man, complete woman, and wholesome families. Some of the events and programs include the Dream Achievers seminars and conferences, Kingdom Financiers conferences, marriage enrichment courses and seminars, for wives only seminars, single ladies boot camps, limitless men's seminars. They are also the founders of the Power of Woman Academy, a group mentorship for high impact women. They also host the annual Power of Women conferences and events. For more information, please visit www.idelight.co.za and www.reslife.org.za or WhatsApp +27 814 210 835.
Welcome. It's another Friday evening. We have our Thank God It's Friday. And we'll have for you today healthy versus unhealthy relationships. And this because we're already in the holidays, the Christmas season. This will be our last episode for the year because next week is Christmas. And then we will resume in the new year. So just enjoy what we have available for you today. And we will see you in the new year. God bless.
Today we are talking about healthy and unhealthy relationships. Healthy and unhealthy relationships. I'll need that my chart. Okay. So why do we have healthy and unhealthy relationships? There's a reason why relationships are healthy or unhealthy. At the end of the spectrum, it's abusive. So there is healthy, there's unhealthy, then there's abusive. I'm talking to people who are single. I'm talking to people who are married. I'm talking to people who are engaged. I'm talking to people who are hoping that they would, come into a relationship at some point. So the things we need to share today are so important that everybody needs to pay attention. Everybody needs to pay attention. There is a fairy tale that we hear, and they lived happily ever after, suggesting that, when you find somebody, you are going to be happy, you're going to be in that relationship, and you're going to enjoy all of it till death do you part. I wish it was so. But it's not always so. All right, let's get with it. Number one sign of a healthy relationship is trust. A relationship that does not have trust is actually not a relationship. It's a burden. Trust is the most important currency of relationship. Trust. Emotional intimacy can only thrive on a platform of trust. And this is true for all relationships. It's not just romantic relationships. For all relationships. See, if you have a business relationship, for instance, where you don't trust this supplier or you don't trust this, person, it's a problem. They deliver something, they tell you they delivered 200 boxes, and you can't trust them. Maybe they delivered 195. And each box of whatever they delivered, each box is 50,000 rand. So now, even one box not being there is a lot of loss for you as a business person. So a client, a supplier, a customer, that you cannot trust, it's difficult to do things with them because you are constantly looking over your shoulder. You're constantly checking and rechecking whatever it is that they say. If they gave you money, counted money, put it in an envelope or whatever, and give it to you, you are wondering, is this complete? Did they take something from it? It's a burden. Where there is no trust, the relationship becomes burdensome. This is so important. So this is why when you are preparing to go into a relationship, the first thing you are supposed to be asking yourself is, how do I make myself trustworthy? How do I make this person trust me? Those are the things. When you are offering to love somebody, please hear what I'm saying. When you're offering to love somebody and expect them to love you back, what you should be saying, what should be thinking in your head is, how do I get them to trust me? And then how do I sustain them trusting me? This is important for all relationships. Whether it's a relationship between you and your employer at work, whether it's a relationship between you and your pastor, whether it's a relationship between you and a sister in church or a brother in church, the question you should be asking is, how do I get them to trust me? And if you are constantly asking that question, how do I get them to trust me? Because the moment they don't trust you, the relationship breaks down. The moment they don't trust you, the relationship breaks down. So this is what you're supposed to be working towards. So if people understood what I just said now, if people understood what I just said, there are certain stupid things people do in their relationship. They will not do it. If they understood these principles, they will not do it. See, if there is no trust, the relationship is broken. The relationship is a burden if there's no trust. So if people knew this, that what is keeping this relationship is trust, there are some things you wouldn't do. There are some things you wouldn't do. We do marriage counseling, and I see this all the time, where people start doing things that make their spouses uncomfortable. They make the trust begin to go down. Whether it's because when we talk about trust, there are a number of ways that trust is broken in a relationship. There are a number of ways. And it's usually around, three things: emotions, sex, and money. So when we talk about infidelity in marriage or infidelity in a relationship, it's three. There are three dimensions to infidelity. There's emotional infidelity, there is sexual infidelity, and there's financial infidelity. So if you understand that trust is the strongest currency for a healthy relationship, you should be constantly asking yourself the question, how do I get this friend of mine to trust me? If you have personality traits that make it difficult for people to see who you really are, for people to trust you, then those are the things you need to work on and be intentional. I'll give you an example. I once worked with somebody who was always moody. And when they become moody, my goodness, you don't want to be around them. They are so unpredictable when they are moody. They are so unpredictable, they can do anything. So their unpredictability when they are moody creates insecurity in the relationship. You don't know what they're going to do. They can get moody and they get drunk. They can get moody and they tune out. They tune you out. They zone you out. You are not part of their life. You don't know what's happening, and so on. So that kind of behavior causes an erosion of trust. It's important that we understand the dynamic, okay? So there's no emotional intimacy of any type with no trust. It's something, let me use another illustration. It's something, even in in a spiritual relationship, maybe a relationship in church, a relationship with your pastor, if you are doing things that make it difficult for them to trust you, then it's a problem. Because if they can't trust you, you are limited in how much blessing you can get from your pastor. Same thing with your boss. If your boss can't trust you, how can he promote you? How can he recommend you for promotion if you are untrustworthy? Okay, so trust is important. And when we narrow it down now to, a romantic relationship, trust is everything. Without trust, your relationship is vulnerable to stress and uncertainty. Like I said, where there's no trust, what we have is burden. The relationship becomes burdensome. There is a high value in having your partner trust you and know that you won't hurt them. This is what all of us are looking for. The person that you want to settle with, the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you want to know that they are not going to hurt you. They're not going to hurt you financially. They're not going to hurt you emotionally. They're not going to hurt you spiritually. You want to know that they're not going to hurt you. And all of us have a need to know that this person is not going to hurt us. That they are not going to do anything that is going to bring us pain or, hurt us. Even when they do things unintentionally that brings us pain, because it wasn't their intention, it's easy to bear that pain and it's easy to forgive because they made a mistake. Okay? So in any relationship, whether it's a business relationship, you want to know that this person is not going to hurt you. All of us are built with a tendency for self-preservation. So anybody who's going to hurt you, you find yourself, you have to defend yourself from them, because you don't want, nobody gravitates towards pain. See, when we're talking about, romantic relationship, there is, when you know that, and not just romantic relationship, in fact, most relationships, when you know that this person can respect your privacy and protect your privacy. We all need to know that this person can respect and protect our privacy. I can trust you with my privacy. I can trust you not to violate my boundaries. I can trust you. So I know that I don't need to enforce security around my privacy. Just knowing that this is my privacy, I know that I trust you not to violate it. Everybody has a need for that. See, and that's what builds trust. That this person doesn't need enforcement to protect your privacy or to respect it. You don't need to put laws. You don't need to put keys. You don't need to, they can just respect it. That, okay, there's a line here and this person doesn't like this, and they can respect that line and not cross it. Whatever that line may mean. Those are the things that build trust. So a healthy relationship has high levels of trust. Number two, sign of a healthy relationship is communication. There has to be honest and respectful communication, especially about difficult subjects. How you know whether a relationship is healthy or not is how we deal with difficult subjects. A friend of mine invited me sometime to the 50th wedding anniversary of his parents. So I went. At this 50th wedding anniversary, somebody asked the couple, what's the secret to their marriage? I mean, they've been married for 50 solid years. That's a very, very remarkable achievement. Not so many people have been married for 50 years. Not so many people. And both of them are alive and well, and they're 50 years married. So they asked them, what is the number one key to their success? And the man said, in fact, both of them, concluded, affirmed this truth I'm about to share. They said it is their ability to have those difficult conversations. Their capacity, they learned how to have those difficult conversations and resolve difficult things easily. So when a couple learn how to communicate and how to communicate, especially about difficult subjects, the relationship is healthy. When we can't discuss difficult subjects because somebody's going to blow up, somebody's going to shout, somebody's going to break down, voices are going to, then the relationship is not healthy. If I'm afraid to engage, to discuss a difficult subject because I am apprehensive for the consequences of raising this difficult subject, what you're going to do, you are making our relationship unhealthy. So think about it. Every time you throw a tantrum, you shout, you scream when issues are being discussed, understand what you are doing. You are making your relationship unhealthy because you are making your partner retract or refrain from raising those kind of issues to be discussed. Yes, there are things that are bothering them. Yes, there are things that need to be discussed. There are things that are threatening the longevity and the future of the relationship. So your emotional outbursts when issues are raised is making the relationship unhealthy. So if you think about it, you will control your emotions and know that it's important that we can discuss difficult subjects and trash them, and really trash them. Wherever there is stonewalling in a relationship and people build up, these walls of Jericho, and people can't, your partner can't look across the wall to talk to you and reach you. The more the wall, the higher the wall, the more unhealthy the relationship. So any relationship where there are walls, and some people have very thick walls, multiple layers, those are very unhealthy relationships because communication can't pass. Okay. So learning not to take things too personal or lashing out when you are threatened is a key to keeping your relationship healthy. It's a key to encourage your partner to communicate and to talk, knowing that, okay, there's not going to be emotional drama, there's not going to be a nuclear explosion because I raised this subject. Somebody's going to start banging the walls, start slamming doors, start banging tables, start breaking things. No, those are signs of immaturity. Actually, those are signs of immaturity. Maturity is that I'm able to control myself even though I'm not happy or in agreement with what you're saying, but I'm able to control myself and control my emotional outburst while I listen to you and wait for you to listen to me. So developing the skills of communication is one of the very vital skills required to have a healthy relationship. Number 3, patience. A healthy relationship, both parties in the relationship have patience for each other. Ability to bear with each other's bad days or off days. Off days happen to everybody. So when your partner is going through a rough time or a bad patch in their day, what do you do? How do you approach them? Are you, patient with them to know that, okay, this will also pass? Are you patient to offer them support, to deal with whatever it is that they are dealing with? Accommodating their idiosyncrasies and their moods. Everybody has idiosyncrasies, everybody. And you know what an idiosyncrasy is? It's something that doesn't make sense to the other person. It makes sense to one person, but it doesn't make sense to the other person. That's why it's called an idiosyncrasy. It's a personal preference, and we all have it. Some people have it more than others. Make no mistake about it. There are some people who are just, their life is 99% filled with idiosyncrasies, all sorts of idiosyncrasies. And if you cannot deal with someone's idiosyncrasies, then there's no point trying to get into a relationship with them. If the idiosyncrasies are bothering you, then you know, those are the things those are the data you gather during dating. I keep saying it, that dating is for data gathering. You know, that's when you gather data about this person. And when you begin to see their idiosyncrasy and their a lot, then you ask yourself a question: can you live with these idiosyncrasies? Can you live with them? Can you, you know, I had a friend who all he had was white shirts. All his shirts are white. All. You know, that's an idiosyncrasy. All he has is white shirts. There is nothing sinful about it. It's just, you know, difficult to, you know, make sure that he doesn't get dirty, because all he has is white shirts. You know, I know I had a friend that when we were in university, all she had were pants. She never wore a skirt. She doesn't have one. She doesn't keep one. She has never bought one. And all she has are pants. That's an idiosyncrasy. She doesn't wear dresses. She doesn't have any. She doesn't wear skirts. She doesn't have any. You know, and all she wears is her pants. That's an idiosyncrasy. So people have different idiosyncrasies. I have a friend who is an artist. Man, he has so much, you know, idiosyncrasies. So your patience with their idiosyncrasy is an indicator of how healthy your relationship with the person is going to be. If their idiosyncrasies irritate you and you're constantly showing that impatience, then you know that you are heading for an unhealthy relationship, you know. Okay, so being able to really stretch to accommodate them and allow them to stretch you, because some people can stretch you with you know, their idiosyncrasies and their stupidities, actually. Not just idiosyncrasies, some of their stupidities will stretch you. So the question is, can you endure the stretching? Can you allow them to be without, you know, feeling like they are running you up the wall? Okay? So, yeah, that's patience. So when you are dating someone, those are the things you look out for. You know, can you really, you know, accommodate some of these things? Because sometimes the mistake single people make sometimes is to think, oh, okay, they are going to change. But you're meeting them, they are 30 years old, and you're meeting them, and they've carried this thing for 30 years. How are they going to change? They've been like this for 30 years, and you're hoping that they're going to change. No, you're not being wise. They're not going to change. They have been like this. If they're going to make any change, it's going to be very minimal. So you ask yourself the question, can I live with this? If this person doesn't change, can I live with this? Can I be patient with it? Can I allow it? Okay? And if your answer is yes, then you can go into the relationship.